So like Awkwafina is this actress. You've seen her in Shang-Chi and a bunch of other movies, Crazy Rich Asians. And she keeps on getting criticized for using a Blaccent. She's an Asian actress. She's half Korean, half Chinese. Friend of mine, we did, back in the day, Girl Code, I think it was together. But, and she just keeps on getting criticized for using this Blaccent. And, well, first of all, what do you guys think about it?
Is it her accent?
So here's the thing. When you're from New York,
she's from New York.
She's from Queens. So it's like,
what are we talking about?
Like who you growing and see, that's the thing that maybe you guys understand as like Canadians, but like black people that are from Canada, because like you guys have an accent from your part of Canada.
Yeah, I understand.
Like y'all sound like you're from Quebec.
Okay.
It's different than when you're from Toronto. And the Toronto accent just popped up like a year ago. Like these motherfuckers sound like they were from New York 5 years ago, and now all of a sudden it's ting ting ting. Yeah, right? It's like everything is ting ting, right? Like
hey, you're a waste man. Yo,
waste man. It's like, and I get it.
I'm gonna defend Toronto for they've been saying that.
They've been saying that, but no, it's mainstream.
No,
but they've been on that thing.
Because I hate Toronto, so keep going.
No, I love Toronto, but it feels like they're adopting an identity. Like if you listen to Tory Lanez talk, he talks he's from New York.
What do you say, my guy?
Every once in a while you see that shit. So, but I think that they're adopting identity that are from the influential cultures that are in the city, right? Sure. And that's what we all do, right? So if you grow up in New York, yes, you're going to code switch. I'm going to speak one way around my parents and one way around my friends. Yeah. And I think that we all do that. Yeah. The crazy thing about her and why I always defend her is it's like, what accent you want her to have, yo? She got to have an Asian accent? Is that what you want? Or she got to talk white? What you're basically saying is, hey, you got to talk white. And the reality is she grew up in Queens, maybe grew up with more black folk than she did white folk, and that's going to be the people that influence her accent the most,
100%,
right?
100%.
If she grew up in Queens.
Bruh, I know.
She's around.
I tell her this all the time. I'm like, yo, that's yours. You're a product of this city. Don't let anybody tell you how you can or can't talk. Now, here's the thing. I do understand the frustration. And we were talking to our boy Derek Poston, who opens up on the road for us, and he was bringing up this point. I understand the frustration of black people, where he's like, "Yo, if I quote unquote black scent it up, I'm scary or dangerous to people." When other cultures lean in, it's endearing or funny. It's funny that this Asian girl has a blacker quote unquote, but we would call this a New York accent. But if you're not from New York, it's a black accent. Like that is all of a sudden comical, right? So it's like, I understand that frustration. If you're black, you're going, yo, why when I do this shit, it's fucked up and dangerous. And when this Asian girl does it, it's hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's just, comedy's weird like that. Yeah. It's not precise. But besides that, yeah, she's from Queens. It's like that. People, it's not Asian people that speak like that. It's people from Queens that speak like that.
Yeah.
I mean, didn't Will Vicky get the same treatment?
Well, Nikki.
Whoa, Vicky.
No.
Well, Vicky?
Yeah.
Nikki?
Yeah.
Whatever.
But where is she from?
I'm pretty sure she's from like Houston or some shit, but that's her accent, right? From what I know. So my thing is this.
That might be a little cat.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm pretty sure that's her accent. But the main thing I was going to say is I think it just comes down to the context. I understand the struggle. I understand where the hurt comes from, whether it be with the braids and the box braids and everyone switching up the names of the hairstyles because a white girl put it on. I get that. Yeah. But we can't throw away context because you feel that outrage. You got to understand, like, there's an individual on the other side of that you don't know, that you are crediting to a group think or a group idea, which is the same issue that you have being dealt to you. You get what I'm saying? You're being marginalized. You're being pigeonholed when you speak a certain way.
And now you're making these
and you're pigeonholing someone else, removing their identity, their individualism, right? Or the place that they grew up in or all that. And just putting them in the people who are like appropriating your culture. No, that's her culture. Yeah. Right? So you can't just meet with that. And again, that comes back to the Rogan thing earlier where it's like people don't want to take the time to go beyond the 2-minute clip that they saw or anything like that to do a simple Google search to learn about folks. They don't have the energy. Yeah. They just saw her, they'd heard her speak, and they went, she's part of that group.
Yeah. I think the solution is not punishing someone for like, being a part of it. It should be trying to create a more accepting society that doesn't feel uncomfortable when black people talk black.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, Agreed. It's the same thing with like cornrows. Like when a black woman wears cornrows in the workplace, it's unprofessional. She can't wear hair like that. When David Beckham does it, wow, look how cool this guy is.
Yeah.
I don't think we should punish David Beckham for wearing cornrows. I think we should accept black women when they wear cornrows.
And I understand black people's frustration with that.
But it's easier to punish one person than to try to make a whole society change.
That's true.
Exactly.
That's true. So you're taking out that frustration on that one person. They become the figurehead for your frustration.
I'm going to make you feel how society made me feel.
Yes.
I don't know how it was.
And that's a human interaction. Sorry to cut you. That's just like this knee-jerk thing that we do, and we can not be proud of our behavior. We can do fucked up things and recognize it. But I do understand the impulse to be critical. You're just like, what the fuck? Yeah. I've been doing this shit and it's a problem. They do it and it's celebrated. But I like what you guys are saying. At least that you have the context to go like, that's where she's from. That's how the fuck she talks.
Yeah.
Because if she spoke in an Asian accent, nobody would be upset about it, even though it wouldn't be natural for her. Mm-hmm. Right? Nobody would say a single fucking thing.
Yeah. Because she's conforming to our idea of what it should be rather than what she
100%.
Which is kind of, that's fucked up.
That is fucked up.
That is fucked up that you should speak like that. I don't want to be that guy, but I'm like, aren't you going to do the same thing?
Yeah.
How about this? A black person grows up in the suburbs, doesn't speak like they're from the hood. They get on television, speak the same way. Everyone starts looking at them funny. Why are you trying to be white? No, it's the environment. It would be weird if I hear some guy who grew up in a gated community, like it's like when I hear these rappers who grew up in gated communities talk about, we shooting through keypads and all this stuff. Like, nigga, you live behind a gate. Like, why you talk about thug life? Yeah. That's not you. That's inauthentic. Yes. That's the issue. But you being true to yourself and talking about stuff that's real for you, now you're being white. So it's like,
but I get this I get that all the time because in French, I don't know how Awkwafina got brought up and anything and stuff. My parents came here and they understood what having an accent and what not bothering people. And so I was not allowed to speak Creole with my parents. I was allowed to speak Creole with my aunts and my
extended family, but with your parents,
but my
French.
Parents, no, it was French
because they wanted you to be nice.
No, because they understood that the importance of having a good French.
Yeah.
Right. And when I step in interviews sometimes and I speak French with the interviewer, which is a French Quebecer, I speak Quebecer, which is different type of French with its accent. L'accent va être différent. Ça peut être un accent genre de la France. What I said was the accent's going to be different. It's not going to be like an accent from France.
Right.
My black followers are like, why are you trying to be white? I grew up like that.
Yeah.
If I went to school and I speak with a Creole accent, I would get beat. If I go back home and I speak with a Quebecer accent, not a proper accent, proper, quote unquote, I will get beat.
Yeah.
So I code switch all the time. Like that's what I do. It's not because you have different accent. It's also part of who I am.
Yep. It's part of who we all are.
Yeah.
And highly intelligent social individual is going to have these different codes that they can speak with, right? If you're speaking one specific way, you go talk to your priest, you're going to do the exact same thing as you talk to your friends. Yeah. No, you're going to change certain words and you're going to change certain tones, all that kind of stuff.
But your mom is from
My mom's from Scotland. When she's with her family, that Scottish accent pops out.
And your
My dad's a New Yorker.
It don't pop out. She's just being fake.
Yeah, she's fucking fake.
fraud.
With her Scotch loser.
You're not New York. You're not 50%. You're 100. And that's all you are. Like I can also be all that and all that. She can be Asian wherever the hell she's from, and also from Queens, and be part of that. And that makes who she is. But the thing is, people want a clear distinction of what you're like that, you're that. I see Asian.
Satisfy my feelings.
Yes.
You should satisfy my feeling. It's selfish.
And I don't understand how then it's fake. It's not like that. It's not exactly like that, but whatever.
Again, I think it goes back to that whole thing. We're trying to cope with this influx of information, these new faces, these new people, and we don't have enough time to see them as individuals. So we place them in groups so we can understand them.
Yeah.
I think a lot of these issues,
thinking's hard, bro.
whether it's like misinformation, all this stuff, is just a reflection of like the new technologies that we're absorbing, that our brains and we're not meant to see millions of people. We're not meant to scroll and see a different person. Our brains have a hard time internalizing all this stuff. And so we're having like these malfunctions where we're having almost like inhuman responses to other human beings, but it's impossible to be empathetic, to be kind, to be understanding with millions of people that you're seeing all the time.
Yeah. So you have to filter all that shit and put it in a box.
Exactly.
And make it quick for you to process.
Exactly.
All right, cool. And Asian, you have to speak. What? Why did you?
Here's an example. I'm walking down the street, and this I do something. Like you see somebody, they look threatening. You're just gonna assume that about them. You're gonna profile them, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna act accordingly, right? If I see a bald white dude with like tattoos and I think he's a skinhead, I'ma just move accordingly, right?
That's who you were imagining?
Yes, that's all.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what scares me.
Oh yeah, me too.
Yeah. Truckers,
Fucking trucking.
freedom convoys coming through. So you do that, but you have to imagine we aren't built for that because if you go back a long time, you had your village, you had your neighborhood.
Yes.
And you knew everybody there. Yeah. It wasn't normal to walk across somebody who looked threatening because you knew everybody. And if they weren't there, everybody's like, yo, who's that walking through our street?
Yeah.
So we have to also acknowledge that everything has changed so fast and we haven't adapted.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. White people are good.
Can I ask you one question?
Yes, Miles, go.
What if someone takes a New York accent? What if they don't have it?
Happens.
I have a prime example.
Who's that?
Canada's most handsome man, Ryan Gosling, has a New York accent.
Has a New York accent, yeah.
New Yorker. Not New Yorker. He's Canadian.
Yeah,
he grew up wanting a tougher accent, so he started copying Marlon Brando as a kid. How do you feel?
Now,
Is he stealing your culture?
Now, that is different. He's appropriate. But if you're someone who lives in New York for an extended period of time, you're just going to speak like us. Yeah. It's just what it is. It's like,
how many years?
Not only is it cool, I bet you if we were in the South, if I lived in the South for fucking...
You're going to have a twang.
I'm going to start having Southern... Dude, when we were in Miami, I bet I started saying bro more.
Bro, you were Cuban.
Bro.
You were Cuban for 4 months,
I am a Cuban.
bro.
I am Cuban. I am Cuban, dude.
How many
Cuban
Cubanos did you eat? The
I didn't eat
overrated
not
sandwich.
one fucking Cubano. I don't do that shit, dude.
Yeah, I get you.
That sandwich is poor. Everything about that sandwich is poor. It should be wrapped in plastic.
Yeah.
That is a poor fucking sandwich
They brought
right
their
there.
communism food.
Yeah, they're not.
Why?
We're not allowing
Leave that back
shit.
home.
Leave it, bro.
Nobody trying to eat that.
Pues jamón and queso and...
It's ham and pork.
Yeah.
Yeah, double up.
Yeah,
With a
it's
pickle?
like, what's
With a
going
pickle,
on,
it's fine.
dude?
Yeah. But if you understand the food situation in Cuba, you can't be too mad at them.
That's right.
It's the best they could do.
Yeah, but they're here now.
Bro, Cuban food's fire.
Stop
What are you talking
doing
about? Cuban food's slap.
Nah, all Caribbean food is mid.
Have you been to Cuba?
Only Caribbean food that's good is Jamaican, low key.
Say that again.
Only
Yo,
Caribbean
get the
food
machete.
that's
Get the
Jamaican.
machete, bro.
fuck
Get the
did you say?
machete.
Only Caribbean food that's good is Jamaican.
Get the fuck out of here.
What is Haitian food?
What is Haitian food? You don't even know what the fuck it is. You're gonna.
Wow.
That's your fault.
Yeah, talk that shit.
My fault.
Step it up.
Talk that shit.
Step out. There's Haitians all over this bitch. What the fuck?
The fuck
you mean,
Whoever
bro?
said, yo, let's go to Haitian food tonight?
What the fuck?
Name a Haitian restaurant.
Mini Menu. Shout out to you guys in
Yo,
Montreal.
say passe, bro.
Mini
Come
Menu,
on, say
Crisel,
passe.
yo,
bro.
Ça passe.
What the fuck you mean?
I'm not even gonna
Name
lie.
one in New York.
I don't eat that shit.
When I
You,
fuck
exactly.
No,
You
I
don't
don't
eat that
in
shit.
New York.
Say it again. Now
I
you
don't
don't
eat
eat
that shit
that
in New
shit.
York.
You don't
Bruv,
eat that shit.
bruv.
You don't eat that
Step
shit.
out.
Name a dish.
You from here?
Name a Haitian dish.
Collé à poire.
Yes, griot.
Griot.
Yes,
Ballon
yo.
pesé
Nobody
liquide.
eats that
Bouillon.
shit.
We
Nobody eats that shit.
Sous mon beef,
No,
bro.
yo. This guy's crazy, bro. I know the fucking gang.
I was getting fired. I got fired out.
Yo, you said that already.
I got fired.
Shout out.
That's a fake. They ain't
Shout
New York.
out.
Yo,
Shout
this
out.
guy's
man.
crazy,
No,
bro.
it's French.
Yo.
It's French. It's not
Somebody
French.
No, it's not, bro.
Fuck your life. All right.
Exactly, bro.
I got excited, bro.
I will say on the Ryan Gosling shit though, like when you come from certain backgrounds, you learn that assimilating is part of surviving, or like adapting, right? So
Yeah.
for like my parents, like they understood they
Definitely
had to talk a
hard for
certain way
Ryan
when to work.
Gosling to survive in Vancouver, Canada. God forbid. If he didn't have that New York accent, what
He
would have
wouldn't have made
happened?
it. He wouldn't have made it.
What would have happened? I mean, would he become part of the Mickey Mouse Club? Who knows?
No, if he sounded Canadian,
Who
bro. If he sounded like
knows?
he was from Saskatchewan, it wouldn't have worked. Try to smooth talk as Ryan Gosling from Saskatchewan.
Yes, it probably wouldn't have worked. But survival's maybe the wrong word.
Maybe not in regards to Ryan Gosling, but I do know, like, so for some folks, when they immigrate to a certain spot, they start taking on the accent. Like, yes, they weren't born there, but I understand a portion of why they do it because it just, you don't want to stand out because standing out oftentimes is a bad thing if you want to just live a
being
simple
a
life.
prey.
You just want to go to work and like not have your boss single you out because the way that you talk, he worries that it upsets customers or whatever. So I'm not mad at it because I understand why it's there. Like, I'm not mad at somebody who goes to a customer service job and all of a sudden they're not like, hey, what up, cuz? They're like, yes, how can I do? My name is. How about this? I worked at a call center. We used to do things for like charities, so we call people up to scam them, and it's all scams. And I would not say my name's Abba.
Of course not.
I'd say, hey, my name's Michel. I would say in the French accent, and I'd be like, and I would notice that the customers were more receptive to me once I had a name that they could identify with. When I used to call it Abba, I used to have recordings of it. So they would just hang up. So I learned that if I wanted to keep this job and to make money when I'm struggling, I had to adapt my accent. So yeah. Oh yeah, they would just hang up.
Yeah, you go to bodegas in Canada. I don't go, hey, what's up? No, I speak like them. Hey, comment tu vas? En forme? Ouais, parfait, mon chum. All right. Moi, je vais te prendre un chip. Hey, mais moi, 20 piastres à deux. 20 piastres à deux? All right, parfait, mon chum. And I'm like, they're like, oh, he's us. He's cool, not a threat.
Yeah.
We good.
Yeah, I think it's natural to do this.
Yeah.
I think that's normal.
Yeah. So
I understand the frustration when you see it, but I do think it is normal, especially if you're living in a place.
Yeah.
I didn't know that Ryan Gosling did that shit, and he never even lived in New York.
No, I grew up, watched a lot of Marlon Brando movies, and was like, yo, that's tough.
Any of the dudes, the actor who sucked dick? Marlon Brando?
Oh, the actor that's...
What?
He's the gay actor, right? Marlon Brando? Didn't he fuck Richard Pryor?
Whoa. Richard Pryor said some shit about...
I'm pretty sure Richard Pryor sucks some Marlon Brando.
I'll look it up.
Yeah, he said something.
Yo.
You didn't know he was gay?
I did not.
Was it Quincy Jones that said that?
Bro, I'm not crazy, bro. I'm not crazy. Nah. Y'all not gonna look at me like this is the fish people. This is not some lizardman shit. Google that.
So
I'm not
this
crazy.
is an article from TMZ. It says Richard Pryor's widow says yes, he did bang Marlon Brando.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You got
y'all
really
make me feel
happy.
crazy.
You got really happy someone fucked someone else. You got
I need to know what...
really happy some dude.
What you were
This is from
Googling to
Pryor's
get to
widow.
this.
This is from
Nah, this
Pryor's
is on
widow.
TMZ
But
all over. I like Richard Pryor.
I think Quincy Jones and some shit. Yeah, the whole article where he was airing some shit out. No?
I mean, Richard Pryor did say he sucked a dick.
I mean, at least he sucked the best. Like that motherfucker. Brando's one of the best
Can he have a New
actors
York
ever.
accent after you blow Brando? Can you?
Yeah, 100%. He blew it right into his fucking mouth. Dude, you couldn't help but speak with a New York accent, dude. His fucking throat was full of it.